Professor Worgley's here, continuing with the slides. Let's look at the onload event. If I want to execute a JavaScript immediately after the page has loaded, then I need to use the onload event. Now, what do I mean by the page has loaded? Technically, it's after the DOM has loaded. So after the DOM has built that tree that we just got done talking about, this function will be executed. So the onload event occurs when an object has been loaded. Object meaning the document object model, the DOM. Onload is most often used within the body element to execute a script once a web page has completely loaded all the content. This is going to include images, script files, CSS files, and everything else. Now, the onload event can be used to track the visitor's browser type and the browser's version. In addition, it can also load the proper version of the web page based on that information. Now, the onload event can also be used to deal with cookies. So we'll see these examples later on. We haven't got to cookies yet, but once we get to cookies, we'll see that. But one thing that I really like is to check the browser's type. A lot of times, a web page will look different in Chrome and Safari, and then go to Internet Explorer, and then Firefox. So a lot of times, I see in production sites, once you load the page, it'll say, hey, this page looks best in Chrome, and we see you're not using Chrome, we recommend you to use Chrome. Or, hey, this page looks good in Chrome and Firefox, please switch to Chrome or Firefox because we've identified that you have not used those specific browsers. So that's a really nice tool that I like to use in my production sites. Now, here's the syntax. I can either do it in the body or an HTML element. I can do onload. It can be in any element, so it can be in a paragraph tag or a div, depending on what you want to do. Most of the time I see it in the body, so after the body's finished loading the entire body, then this script will load. You can also do it in JavaScript. So based off an object that I've selected, I can call the onload, and that will fire this function here. And we'll talk about what these functions are because they look a little bit different than the functions we've written. Now we're going to go to onload.html. Stick with Professor Worgley's, and we'll see you in the next video.